Hey there traders, welcome to the Pip Anchor Sessions video summary. I'm going to run you through a couple of things that we were doing in London session today. They're busy with New York session as we speak, so hopefully they'll have a good New York session to start the weekend out, but the London session wasn't too bad. The market this week is, for a few days during this week has felt a little slow, guys, to be honest. It's felt a little bit wary, moving along slowly, but there were some great setups. There were opportunities to take trades, and so that's what I'm going to point out for you now. If you look at the Euro-Dollar 4-hour chart here, you'll notice that I'm in a sell at the moment, and you might be wondering to yourself, well, why would he get into a sell here when it looks like a really big rally, a big uptrend here for the moment? Well, we don't have this dark cloud cover candlestick pattern here confirmed yet, because we need this 4-hour candle to close first. So it may look as if I jumped in a bit early, but if I switch across to the Euro-Dollar weekly chart, you'll get the picture. Here is a 50%, as you can see, right? This purple line running right there is a 50%. I've got my stop loss a little bit higher there, so I'm really risking a very minimal amount of pips here, guys, with a huge profit potential. The profit potential for this trade is, about 600 odd pips if it decides to go back down to our Gartley pattern projection of A to B equals C to D. And so with us having broken out and retested, and this happens all the time, guys. I mean, have a look at this. We broke out the 382 fib right there and retested it. We broke this orange trend line and it got a retest somewhat. We broke the blue trend line, it got a retest, and now we've broken the 50 and we're sitting on a retest right now. So what would you imagine could happen? That we could have a continuation down to D now. So we'll see if that happens next week, but I'm in that trade for the moment, and if I get any measure of profit, any decent profit throughout the rest of the trading day through New York and so on, then I'll put the stop loss to break even over the weekend. Otherwise, I'll leave it and see what we can get out of it. So that's the Euro trade that I'm in. There were a couple of other trades available on the Euro as well, with the breakout retest of this trend line in the 4 hours. So if you took the breakout retest, then you were looking to get long for about here, and you got up to about 50 pips profit, back into that 50% fib, so you would have taken your pips off at that 50% fib for 52 pips odd profit. Let's have a look at the pound, what we were doing there. The pound was in a nice bull trend as well, and it came up to this resistance pivot here, the mid pivot, and have a look at what was shaping up here. First of all, when we got close to that area, you start seeing all these indecision candles. Then it started to look like, well, maybe we're going to go and make a move. But notice that none of the candles could close above that resistance mid pivot, and we started getting some very long wicks. This candle here was our first indicator that we're going short, that there might be a change in momentum here. Some might call it a shooting star, some might call it a spinning top. There's a number of different ways that people like to see these candles. We also have a specific way of seeing it in the live room, but we pointed this out. Second wick, and we said we're not happy with longs at the moment for here. We wanted a breakdown, and that's exactly what we got. You'll notice that I took profit off. Those that were able to get this trade took profit off, here at the central pivot. I was late on that trade, so what I've done is I've taken a later trade, a breakout retest of the central pivot point, and we're moving down now to the mid pivot, and I'm hoping that we continue to break pivots and continue down to my profit target down the bottom here. So hopefully that'll continue running for me. But so far, sitting in a good 21 pips profit right now. Looks like roughly 30 maybe even. So not bad. Looking good on the pound short there as well, even though it was a bit of a late entry. So if you guys want to watch us, plan these trades, set them up, trigger them in the live market, come join us in the London and New York sessions at the Pip Anchor sessions at Traders Haven at fap-tradershaven.com. We'd love to have you come join us there. We host these sessions on a daily basis, guys. So if you want to come and have a look, well, then pop across there and see how we're doing. Cheers.